Hello everybody, and today we'll be going over the electric vehicle dilemma. When you think of EVs, you think of two main critiques. Firstly, you think that EVs are not affordable for the average family. Secondly, you think that EVs are still plugged into the power grid powered by fossil fuels. But as we go through this speech, we'll be going over three main points, including the environmental, economical, and the political impact EVs have on you guys. But as we begin the speech, we're going over firstly the environmental impact. Well, many people say that EVs are clean, but that is misleading because as they don't give off any tailpipe emission, they still get their power from fossil fuel produced electricity. According to the U.S. Environmental Production Agency, many EVs although it is true that many EVs don't give off tailpipe emission, it is a fact that they still creates carbon pollution through the factories. And we currently make millions of EVs each year, which also contribute greatly to the impact of the environment. It takes decades to build a power grid that does not rely on fossil fuels, and it would take decades before we can do this. So gasoline cars are an option for today. As we go into our next point, we'll be going over the economical impact of EVs. EVs average around $10,000 to $15,000 more for the average vehicle for a family. And no family can afford an extra $10,000 to $15,000. This will put them in mass amounts of debt, and also their taxes would be over 49% higher. As an example, if someone paid $349 for a gas-powered vehicle, if that car was electric, they would pay almost $700 per month for taxes. And lastly, we'll be going over the political impact of EVs. Politically and legally, the EV mandate represents a crossroads to how we approach systematic change in America. The legal framework greatly benefits the producer and the affluent consumers through production mandates and tax incentives, while doing little to address the rural gaps, which eventually creates political backlash. But through this speech, we went over three main points. Firstly, we went over the environmental, how it impacts the environment and how it pollutes the air. Secondly, we went over the economical, how the average family that works paycheck to paycheck cannot afford an EV in the current state of the current economic state. And lastly, we went over the political and how tax mandates and tax incentives affect the working class. So overall, it would take decades to officially have a fully clean power grid so that EVs would be understandably right for the economy. And also we need to do a lot in the economy through tax mandates and tax incentives. Thank you.